It is March 26, 2025, and it's 12:21, and we're here for the jail plumbing update. And I just basically called this meeting to see where we're at with applications. I know we put forth funds to get the plumbing redone over there, and just kind of see where we're at, and if we need help on more help on getting bids or whatever else we can, see how we can move that forward a little quicker so you can get it done.
So kind of an update that I got for you today, because I'm trying to help save money all around with the existing stuff that's in there and the repairs we've done previously with the previous maintenance man. So we've had a plumbing company coming in the last month on and off. They're actually over there today again, fixing up a lot of the mistakes that were made previously. And so we're actually making some headway. The last about 3.5 weeks ago, our maintenance man and R&B Flowing is the name of it?
It's like called R&B Flow or something.
Flow.
Coming.
They've been coming, and remember when we were in E-Block and those 2 lockdown cells, the plumbing didn't work in them? Well, they got one of them up and running. Now today they went back there to start working on the other individual cell, and they found that everything was hooked up upside down. So they fixed it, and we're able to get that plumbing fixed. So now both of our lockdown cells has working plumbing in them. So that's a plus. And the lockdown cell in A block, if you recall, there was one toilet that wasn't working. That one got fixed today. So we got all of our lockdown cells in A block running. As far as I have not made any bids or anything yet. That's been on a standstill because I'm trying to see what we can do with what we have since.
Well, I think what we planned on doing is we want to make sure that we redo the drain system there for sure, and especially outdoors, so it doesn't come back in and flood it. We want to mitigate that right away, and then we want to be able to put in a drain stop, those drain stops, so that you guys, so that we don't in the future have somebody plug in our main line.
Yep.
So that's kind of the crux of if we can just get that done. Because I know those are one of the most important parts of it. It's just to stop the flooding, and then to make sure that.
So just kind of on the flooding in the back, that's usually what happens is it all floods and drains down into the back into the basement, and then it floods. So Mario did some digging around, and there used to be a little sump right there outside the door. And it was all filled with gravel and everything from whenever they did the paving back there, or remediation, whatever they did back there. And he thinks that they took some fabric and it was covered with some of the fabric and the gravel into that drain. So
It's plugged.
So it was all plugged up. So since he uncovered that, it seems to be draining a lot better. And
Even with
all the
rain?
heavy rain we got and all that, we didn't really have any flooding.
Did you? I mean, I'm not used to the place, but with that heavier rain, did it flood like that before? Was it?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
So
it is.
it seems to be better right now.
Yeah,
So
we're kind of doing a test phase to see if this fixed the problem.
Okay.
And we haven't had any flooding since the thaw or any rain yet.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
yeah, tiny bit here and there, but not like in the past where it would be a foot at the door
Yeah.
coming in.
Okay.
How many hundreds of gallons per minute. So
Using your boat in the basement.
yeah. So as of right now, we're seeing if that's gonna handle it. If it doesn't, then we'll proceed with a bid to fix that.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
Yep. Because that'll probably be more than a plumber. That'll be like a contractor. That'll be someone's got to tear up concrete and all that.
Yeah.
Put in some drain system there. So we'll see if it's, as of right now, it seems to be holding up.
Okay. Cool.
So we'll just go with that. As far as the plumbing in the jail with the R&B, they've been charging us really cheaply to do the work. They're out of Smelterville, and he comes in. Mario helps him, so he discounts all Mario's help and all that. And we have a lot of the parts and pieces already in place, or we already have them.
Yeah.
Just Mario doesn't know how to put them in.
Mm-hmm.
So he's teaching Mario a lot as we go on how to work on this stuff.
Okay.
And so Mario's kind of like working as an apprentice almost
Yeah.
to learn more about the plumbing as this guy's working with him, and he's charging us a real cheap rate. I think he did an 8-hour day for like $200-300 the other
Wow.
week. So, and they got a lot done. So I don't know if it'll always be that cheap, but as of right now, we're just going to continue bringing him in every week or two and just working my day and get fixed whatever he can with Mario. And then that also helps because Mario's learning how to fix it himself.
Yeah, and you did have all those parts that Max ordered.
Mhm.
So we do have the parts that are there that you're just.
We have a lot of parts, just
Okay.
Mario doesn't even know where to start with them.
Okay.
So, but he's definitely getting that going, and it seems to be, we're making headway finally.
Okay.
And I have notes, like Mario's been giving me notes on what he's been seeing, updates. They're handwritten notes, but they're good notes, and it talks in here about the pins that we've talked about in the past, and other. He gave me some parts that we need to order, just so you can kind of get an eye on what we need to order. We haven't given him the green light to order these parts yet, but if you want, at the end of this meeting, I can get some copies made, and you can
Okay.
look at all these.
So it may be, so we need to figure out a cost.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know, wasn't your, is it the compressor or there's something, or there's something on the roof, one of your
Swamp cooler.
swamp cooler.
Yes,
So
that
we need to look at that.
that is something that we were going to get some quotes for once it warmed up more.
Okay.
What's the swamp cooler? Cool.
The swamp cooler is for the kitchen, and it not only cools it, it also helps it with heat in the wintertime. From what I was told by
And you got-
CSN.
Yeah, you got water running to it, plumbing running to it.
Yes.
Yep, and that's right, yep.
And right now it is, what CSN said is probably hasn't worked for a couple of years.
Okay.
And that will, like I said, that'll help with the temperature in the kitchen summertime and winter. Summertime, it's like 120 degrees in there. In wintertime, it's freezing.
Okay, well, you wanna, so you're thinking about possibly keeping this guy and having him come in and do those pins?
If that is something that he can do, yes.
Well, maybe we need to get so that what we did is we set aside money for that, and so we probably need to figure out a cost so that if it's gonna be less than having to farm it out, and we have a licensed plumber that's doing it. Now, is he Public Works license, all that? Probably.
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Now, who
I
is
can
it?
get that confirmed. R&D Flow or Flowing.
Is he from here?
Smelterville, I think.
Smelterville. Okay. I don't know who we used this last time. Oh, it was Bucks Plumbing.
Yeah.
So are you requiring public works licensing?
Well, I think they have to do that to work on our buildings.
Do they?
I think so. I think. I'll check on that again.
Okay.
But I think they do. But maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to look at it.
So just check on it, let us know.
Okay.
We'll see if he is or not.
All right.
We'll go from there.
Okay.
Then we'll with the pins. So anything that we're going to consider a major project like that, we'll have him give us a bid.
Okay.
And then if it's like, oh, it's $1,000, we won't worry about it. But if it's going to be, 5,000 plus or whatever, we'll
Okay.
get some bids
Okay.
and go from there.
Okay.
Do you feel like you're making progress?
I feel like we're
This
making
last
progress.
month, yes.
Yeah.
Finally getting this guy
Good
in
idea.
who's getting someone in there who's motivated, and with Mario helping them, they're getting a lot done. So
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, Mario's been a major blessing.
He has.
Any public comment?
Just clarification, is the basement flooding because it's running off the street and down into your basement? Is that where the flooding's coming from?
A lot of the flooding is
Yeah, a
from
lot of
that.
it.
You ever think of just having the roads department come up, heat up the pavement, and then put a speed bump up there so it stops the water from going down?
Well, also the roof is draining into the back of the
Where it's not covered.
so the whole roof drainage system goes to the back of the building, and then flows down
That's
the
right.
pavement
Right to there.
right to there. So
Oh,
You got like a-
double whammy.
you got like a couple 1,000-gallon swimming pool up there on the roof. that's-
Right, but if you build a dam, the water's gonna go someplace else.
Yeah, it could, but it's so steep right there coming down that it's just everything that's coming off there is all going that way.
So they had a
even
drain
if-
there, and I think it goes out to the river.
Yeah, we could look at something to try and divert it for sure. I don't know if it will help or not, but with as much comes off the roof.
But you still gotta be able to drive through there.
Well, just
Yeah.
a little speed bump.
Yeah, the speed bump wouldn't hurt, but it would have to be at the very top to keep it from
Yeah,
going
Right, at the very top.
at the very top. And
Should have on that guy's property.
yeah, I know. But no, we definitely, if it continues, we got to look at ideas like that, get creative to try and keep as much water from possible as going down that way.
Yeah.
Because we still get the occasional flooding from the sewers and stuff, the inmates. But we can't really do anything to stop that. It would be nice to have some drainage in the basement to
Yeah.
mitigate that a little better. But
Well, let's look at that too. If I mean, I can't believe they don't have a floor drain in there.
yeah, there is, and it's
It's up high.
all of a sudden, yeah, it has been draining better.
Okay.
So we did have like company come in and they tried to camera it and stuff, but they weren't able to get through. But then they messed with it, snaked it a while, and then like a month later it started draining.
Oh, we got it.
So I don't know.
Maybe
All of a sudden-
they loosened something.
Yeah, because we have like this floor drain that's over here, and then it drains about 50 feet over to our actual sump,
Mm-hmm.
and then goes from there and then gets pumped out. So what happens is when that drain quits working, because the majority of the stuff seems to flow to there, everything just backs up. It'll just start backing up there into our 911 room or our phone room and all that, and just starts taking everything out. So it's kind of like humped there. So
Yeah.
everything will stay on that side and just build up, and then it has to get literally over a foot deep before it'll start making it to the sump.
Oh, geez.
So the way it's designed.
All right. Any other questions from you?
No?
Any question there?
I'm glad to see the progress.
Me too.
Yep,
Thank you.
finally getting some done. So
All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.